how to be mentally strong and how to develop a strong mindset. Well, first of all, let's take a look at what is a strong mindset is. Now, just take a look at this Dhammapada verse from the Buddha. The Buddha said, Selo yatha ekagano vatenana samirati evang ninda pasangsasu nasami janti pandita. As a rock that is unshaken by the storm, so too the wise are unshaken by the praise and the blame. Now, have you seen these big masses of rock? No matter how fast the wind blows, it is not shaken. The Buddha said, same like that rock, the wise people, they are unshaken by the praise and the blame in their life. And that is a strong mindset. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips that you can practice to build up a strong mindset. Tip number 1 is to maintain a stable mindset in ups and downs in life, right? You know, life is like an ocean. Sometimes ocean is calm and quiet and peaceful, and sometimes it is stormy, right? We face ups and downs in life. The Buddha said these are called 8 worldly conditions, attaloka dhamma. That means praise and blame, gain and loss, fame and disgrace, and pleasure and pain. These are the 8 worldly conditions that we face in our life. Remember these things. So, Buddha said, accept these ups and downs in life. Whenever people criticize you, whenever people blame you, whenever you go through tough times in your life, if you can be mindful about your mind and your emotions and your feelings, and not to chase after these emotions and feelings, then you can be more stable in these situations. You can maintain a good emotional balance in these situations. So it is very important to be mindful and to practice the self-awareness in these situations. And also remember, you will not be able to always get the sweet comments and sweet opinions and sweet experiences in your life. Life will give tough times to you. Life will throw lemons at you. So you have to maintain a stable mindset whenever you go through these situations by practicing the mindfulness and the self-awareness. Remember that. Tip number 2 is to build the resilience inside the mind. You know, the resilience means the ability to stand up and bounce back when you go through the adversities and when you go through the challenging situations in your life. To practice this, one thing that you have to know and one thing that you have to understand is that what is in your control and what is not in your control. If you have a good understanding about what is in my control in my life and what is not in my control in my life, right? For an example, if people comes up to you and if they're starting to criticize you, those criticisms, those words that other people speaks about you is not under your control. But what is in your control is your reaction to them. It is always a choice. You can think about this like, should I become angry with this? Should I take this negativity? Should I share this negativity with them and be negative as them? If you can question like that, then you're not ready to take that negativity. And also remember, having a strong mindset does not mean that you're falling down and you're feeling hurt and you're feeling down. Having a strong mindset means you can stand up as soon as possible when you go through these tough situations. You can quickly stand up and you can quickly retrieve back to the normal situations in your life. That is called the resilience. So to practice this, you have to have a good understanding about what is in your control in your life and what is not in your control. The experiences happens to you and the things that people say to you, other people's opinions, other people's thoughts about you is not under your control. But all the things that is inside your mind, your opinions about them, your reaction to those experiences totally under your control. So if something is not under your control, you don't want to worry about it because you cannot make any change about it. But if something is under your control, definitely you can make a change about it. You can change your choice, but not others. So remember that. And also you have to cultivate a problem-solving mindset. If you're easily panicked by the problems, or if you're easily triggered by the problems, then it is not easy to solve the problems, right? But if you can maintain a calm and a peaceful mindset, even when you go through the problems or tough situations in your life, then it is very easy to go into the roots and solve the problems. Sometimes we take the problems as ourselves. Like we think, we are the anger, I am this problem, why is this happening to me, right? Remember, everything that happens to you will be impermanent. It is not a permanent thing, right? It will be changed one day. So what do you have to do? Keep that problem aside and try to dive into the roots of that problem. Ask from yourself, why this thing happened to me, right? What is the reason for this? Right? What is the real reason for this? Where did I make the mistakes? And go to that problem, go to the root, and then you can solve that problem. That is how you build up a problem-solving mindset. And finally, tip number 3, last but not least, you have to practice a mindset of self-love and self-compassion. Remember, if you're loving yourself, if you truly love yourself, you're not going to take other people's negativity with you, right? You're not ready to take other people's negativity with you. Whatever the thing that comes up to you, whatever the person comes up to you and bring their negativity with you, you say, well, I'm not going to take this negativity with me. I want to be peaceful. I want to love myself. I truly love myself. Therefore, I'm not ready to take your negativity. I'm not sharing this negativity with you. That is called self-love and self-compassion, right? To practice this, you can add up a simple practice that you can do it daily, right? When you get up early in the morning, just sit on your bed and think, no matter what happens during the day, I am going to love myself. I'm not going to take any negativity from this world, right? I'm going to empty my bin and I'm going to take a new bin to this world, right? Do you know if you've kept all the bad things and trash in your bin for a long time, what will happen? If you're in your trash bin, it will start to smell, no? But if you remove every single day all the trash in your bin and make it make it a clean place, then it's very easy to live. It's very easy to be peaceful within. So practice the self-compassion and self-love to build a strong mindset. Some people think that the people who are easily lose their temper, some people think that people who show their toughness and rudeness, they have this strong mindset. But no, anger and showing this negativity is not a sign of strength. It's a sign of weakness, right? If you are easily triggered by people, if you're easily triggered by the people's reactions, then it's not a strong mindset. The strong mindset is the mindset that is not disturbed by the ups and downs in your life. So practice these simple steps, right? Build a stable mindset, make your mind a resilient one, and finally, love yourself more than any other person in this world. When you practice these steps, you can build up a mindset that is unshaken by the ups and downs in your life. So I wish you all, may all of you find the happiness in your life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. A quick question. Are you having sleepless nights because of these heavy loads of thoughts that are coming and looping inside your mind? Or are you someone who is imagining the worst case scenarios all the time whenever you're going to do something new? Or are you someone who is worrying about what other people will think of me? Well, if you are such a person, you might be overthinking. So let's find out a way where we can get out of our head and quit overthinking and get the works done. So what we can do for this? Well, the first and the foremost thing that you have to do is to realize that overthinking is not going to help you in the process, right? You can plan, you can analyze, but do not overdo it. If you are over planning, if you are over analyzing, it's not going to help you, right? It will distract you from the process. The first thing that you have to realize is that overthinking is not going to help you. The second thing, you can practice to be mindful. Now, this is a practice that you can do to stop overthinking, to be mindful, to practice the mindfulness. So how can we practice the mindfulness? So there are many ways that our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us to be mindful. One of them is to be mindful about the breathing pattern, which we call anapanasati. Right? When you become more mindful about this inhale and exhale, your mind instantly comes to the present moment. Right? Now you're only thinking about inhale and exhale. You're being mindful about that. Now, instantly, you reduced these thousands and thousands and looping thoughts to 2 thoughts. What are those two thoughts? Inhale and exhale. So when you're thinking like that, and when you become mindful, normally, automatically, you will find the peacefulness and you will stop overthinking about these things, right? So whenever you catch yourself overthinking, what you have to do, take 3 deep breaths in and out, right? And just stay for a while by being mindful about your breathing pattern. Or you can be mindful about your body, right? You can ask from yourself that, how am I sitting now, right? What am I doing now? And you ask these things from yourself, you can answer these things like, I'm sitting now. You can recognize. When you do these things, you can be mindful. If you're mindful, your mind is in the present moment. And when your mind is in the present moment, your mind is in the peacefulness. There's a saying, and it goes like this. If you're sad, then your mind is in the past. If you're anxious, your mind will be in the future. But if you are peaceful and if you are still, your mind is in the present moment. So start living in the present moment, right? When you live in the present moment, when you live right here, right now, you can be more peaceful and you can stop these overthinking patterns, right? And also, there's another part of overthinking. What is that? The what if question, right? So many people ask from them that, what if this happened? What if this not happens, right? What if everything that I did was wrong? They are constantly thinking about these things like that, right? They are imagining these worst case scenarios. So, I must say something about them, right? So, if you're thinking this what if question again and again, you can ask from yourself, what if everything that I did was okay? You can be positive. What if everything that I've planned and I've done was really great? So that can happen. There is always many possibilities for your plans to go okay. So don't be negative. Always think, I'm not going to be perfect, right? I cannot be perfect, but I can be the best version of myself. I can do my best. I must do my best. and be positive and go for it and take risks. Without taking risks, we cannot be successful in our lives. So practice these things, right? Be more mindful, right? Be more kind to yourself. And always think that if I overthink, if I constantly worry about myself, it will kill the peacefulness of my life. So I hope this video gave some light to your life. So be peaceful and be mindful and get out of your head and start doing the works that you haven't done. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program. So today we are going to discuss how to deal with toxic people. So toxic people can be found everywhere in this society, right? Sometimes toxic people can be found in our family, right? Maybe they can be found in our neighborhood. Maybe we can find them as our friends. So in one way or another, we have to deal with these people. And also, we have that intention that we should not get hurt ourselves, and also we should not hurt others, right? So we need to find a way to deal with these people. So today we are going to discuss about that. So first of all, I will tell you a wonderful story that tells us how Buddha dealt with a toxic person, right? So this is a famous and well-known story. One day, a man came to the Buddha and he started yelling and insulting, and he was cursing Buddha, right? So, do you know how Buddha faced that situation? He was smiling. He didn't make any reaction. Throughout that conversation and throughout that situation, he put on a smile, a positive smile on his face, and he was looking at that person who was yelling at him very kindly, right? So he was very kind to that person. Now after some time, that person stopped yelling, right? Everything that he packed inside him was over. He was finished. Then our great teacher Supreme Buddha asked a wonderful question from him, right? Now it is totally different to the situation, right? It does not suit for the situation. Supreme Buddha asked, do you get visitors to your home? Does visitors visit to your home? Then that person was astonished and he was amazed. And he said, yes, I get so many visitors to my home. The Supreme Buddha kindly asked from that person, do you treat them with foods and drinks? Then that person said, yes, I am treating them. Then Supreme Buddha said, what if they did not accept what you have treated, what you have given? So, for whom those foods and drinks belongs to, if they did not accept those foods and drinks? Then that person laughed in front of the Buddha and he said, so if they did not accept my treat, then it belongs to me. I will eat them. Then our Supreme Buddha, with a great and wonderful kind smile in his face, he said, same goes with this situation, man. You treated me with rude and harsh words. You treated me with anger. but I am a person who is not accepting anything that you have given to me. I will never accept those rude and harsh words that you treated me. Right? So if I do not accept anything that you have given, then everything that you gave to me belongs to you. Then you should eat it. Right? Then that person was amazed, and his anger was cooled down. Then after, Supreme Buddha preached the Dharma, his teachings to him. After that, he became a follower of our great teacher Supreme Buddha. Now see how positively and how successfully our great teacher Supreme Buddha dealt with that toxic person. Now if we were in that situation, what would be our reaction? Normally, when people yelling at us, we try to talk to them back. We try to prove them wrong. Right? We try to control them with our rude and harsh words. Supreme Buddha said, if you treat with anger to the people who is treating you with anger, if you give the same thing, that means you are sharing their food and eating. Right? If you become angry, that means you are sharing their treats. Remember, whenever you are in such situations, whenever you face toxic people, whenever people around you are angry, what you have to do? The first thing that you have to do is put on a positive smile to your face. Never show your sad or angry face to them. If you show that, that means you are providing what they want. Because they are coming to you expecting to hurt you. If you show them that you have been hurt, then you are unsuccessful. You provide them what they wanted. So never show your angry or sad face to them. Put on a smile. Be a positive person. Be a bigger person than him. Because when one person becomes angry, right, he becomes mentally weak. Remember, mentally weak people express their anger easily. The reason why they are expressing their anger is because they don't have a strong mentality. So you need to be the bigger guy, right? To be the bigger guy, you have to be positive, you have to smile, and you have to be motivated with virtues and morals. Okay? Be the best version of yourself. Don't try to talk to them back. That is the first thing. And also, you have to listen to what they tell, what they speak. Right? Set apart and leave behind the person. Don't care about the person. Care about what they say. Right? Sometimes they may be yelling at you because of a mistake that they think that you have done, but in reality, sometimes you haven't done it. So what you have to do? You have to listen to that and understand what they say. Right? Give a big attention to what they say. Right? So if they complain you about a mistake or something else, then you have to think, is that mistake prevails in my life? Right? Is that mistake is inside my life? Have I done that mistake really? Right? If you have done some mistake and if that is the reason that they are yelling at you, then you have to correct your mistake. But never show the face of anger or sadness. Okay? Then you have to correct it. If you haven't done any mistake, and still if they are complaining you, then don't try to prove them wrong. Because each and every time you try to prove them wrong, they may be understanding it in a wrong way. Because when our mind gets deluded, or when our mind is covered by anger, normally an angry man shuts his eyes and ears and he opens his mouth. Right? He cannot see anything, he cannot listen to anything, he cannot hear anything. So what you have to do? Don't try to prove them wrong. Stay silent. Silence can give many answers to problems. Right? So if you need to prove them wrong with your success. Not with your words. Right? That is how we do it. So you have to set apart the person and listen to what they say. If you have done a mistake, correct it. If you haven't done a mistake, leave it behind. Don't care about that. So the best practice that you can do to generate and to have this skill is to practice the mind of loving kindness. Right? If you love yourself, you will never like to make yourself angry. If you love yourself, then you will have the opportunity to love others. And if you love others, you will never try to hurt those people with rude and angry words. So practice loving kindness, practice compassion, right? Love, compassion, care, these things can provide many answers to the problems that pop up in our life. So you always need to be kind. You always need to be humble. And also remember, being humble is not being weak. You need to be positive. Right? You need to have a good skill to handle these situations. Now this can be done by visualizing to yourself that how I'm going to face such a situation. If you can visualize a situation like that now, and if you can imagine in your mind how I'm going to face it, right? If you can see that you are having a good smile on your face, and you are listening to those people, and you are handling that situation very successfully, then that visualization will help you to deal in a real situation like that. So practice that, right? That is how we deal with toxic people. Never provide what they want. When they come to you, they need the anger from you. They need to hurt you. So don't provide that. If you did not provide it, you will handle it successfully. So I wish you all, may all of you have that wonderful skill to deal with the toxic people successfully. Namo Buddhaya, Tirvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide program. In life, when we are studying, normally we experience this special feeling most of the time. Sometimes when we are studying and when we are facing exams especially, we may find the times and the moments that we forget everything that we have studied. Have you ever experienced that? If you are a student, I think most of you have experienced this special feeling. In the middle of the exam, when you come across a question, you try to memorize the thing, that special thing that you have studied, but nothing comes to your brain, nothing comes to your head. It feels like suddenly everything has been vacuumed off. Have you ever felt that? I think most of us have felt that experience. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us there are 5 reasons for the forgetfulness. There are 5 reasons for being forget that what we have studied. So what are those 5 reasons? These are called 5 hindrances. In Pali language, in the Buddha's words, it is called Pancha Nivarana. When you take the word Nivarana, the exact meaning of the word Nivarana means there is something covering up your mind, right? That means these things cover your mind. It's like you put your mind inside a polythene bag, right? When you put something inside a polythene bag and you tie it tightly, and if you kept it under running water, does the thing or the special object that is inside that polythene bag get wet? It doesn't get wet because the polythene bag has been covered all over, right? It does not permit to the water to go inside. Same as that, our mind can be covered by certain thoughts, right? When our mind is obsessed with certain thoughts, nothing will come inside to our mind. The things that we study will be forgotten. So these are called the 5 hindrances. In the Buddha's word, they are called Pancha Nivarana. The first hindrance to the mind is, Supreme Buddha said, Kama Chanda. Kama Chanda means the sensual desire, sensual craving. Right? If you are thinking about the craving thoughts, lustful thoughts inside your mind while you are studying, right? The things that you study will never go inside to your mind. You will never memorize them. Why? Your mind is obsessed with those lustful thoughts. Imagine a situation when your mind is full of lust. Normally we cannot think about the good and bad. Normally we are not in the real consciousness. Our mind is somewhere else thinking about those lustful and pleasurable thoughts. When our mind is in that arena, right? When our consciousness, awareness is in that arena of our mind, the lust, inside the lust of our mind, nothing will come inside the mind, right? Though we study, though we are inside a classroom, right? Though your physical body is inside a classroom, your mind is somewhere else. So therefore, you will never remember anything that you studied. Okay? That is called the first hindrance, the sensual desire. Number 2, Vyapado. Vyapado means the anger. When you are angry, when your mind is full of anger, can you think about anything can you think about anything out of that? No, because your mind is full of anger, right? Your mind is heated with anger. If you're studying with an angry mind, with a mind which is full of hatred, nothing will remember. You cannot remember anything that you study. So that is the second hindrance to your mind. Number 3, Supreme Buddha said, the sleepiness. That is called Thena Midda. The sleepiness. Now when you are being in the class, when you are studying in the class, normally when you are studying, most of the students feel sleepy and lazy. When you are studying with sleepiness and laziness, you will never remember anything that you studied. Because your mind is filled and your mind is occupied with sleepiness. It is covered with sleepiness. When the sleepiness covers your mind, the things that you study will never go inside. Right? So that is the third hindrance. Number 4, Supreme Buddha said, Uddacha Kukkucha, restlessness and remorse. There are some times that our mind is becoming restless. It will become distracted, right? So many thoughts will pop up inside our mind in such times. And also, sometimes we regret about the things that we have done in the past, right? When you're regretting about the things that you have done in the past, and when your mind is restless, remember, you cannot remember anything that you study, right? You will never remember anything that you study, because your mind is occupied by the restlessness and remorse. It is covered with that. When the restlessness and the remorse cover your mind, nothing will go inside, right? If you try to meditate, nothing will happen. If you try to study, nothing will happen. No progress. And the final hindrance, it is called the doubt. If you have doubt about yourself, whether I can do this or not, will I do this or not? When you're studying, if you are doubting about yourself, if you have doubts about yourself, your success, you cannot remember anything. Because you are thinking about yourself as a low person, right? So you don't think about yourself as a low person, right? And do not think about yourself in a higher level, right? Do not overestimate yourself, and also do not underestimate yourself. You should live moderately. When you are studying, always think, I am studying as I can, in the best form and in the best way that I can, right? Do not compare yourself with others, because the more you compare yourself with others, you will start to doubt about yourself. When the self-doubt covers your mind, nothing that you study will go inside your mind, right? So when you are studying, what you have to do, you have to stay away from these hindrances. Number 1, sensual desire, sensual craving. Number 2, anger. Number 3, sleepiness. Number 4, restlessness and remorse. And number 5, the self-doubt. If you stay away from these 5 factors, these five evil thoughts, remember, always the things that you study will go inside your mind. You can take it out anytime, anywhere from your mind, because it is well established inside your mind. You're well focused to the studies, you're well focused to the things that you study, and all the things that you will study will absorbed by your mind. So how to stay away from these evil thoughts? I have to share the remedy for these evil thoughts. Supreme Buddha said the best medication, the best medicine for these evil thoughts is the meditation. Right? Try to calm your mind through meditations. Now, most of the younger generation, as you, are not so much focused to the meditation. Remember, if you are a student, if you are a human being, no matter what, you have to calm your mind. You have to practice to make your mind serene. So the best thing that makes your mind serene is the meditation, right? So start meditating at least about 5 minutes a day. It is best to meditate early in the morning, soon after you get up, refresh yourself, sit for 5 minutes and do some meditation. You can do breathing meditation. You can stay being aware of your breathing pattern. It will calm down your mind. And also you can do loving kindness meditation. You can spread love and kindness to yourself and to the others. These meditations are common and known meditations by everyone. So you can do that. Right? If you start meditating, you will feel that your mind is serene and peaceful. The more your mind gets peaceful, the more you will remember what you study. So when you are studying, it is very essential. It is much more important to maintain a serene and calm and concentrated mind. So for that, you need to practice meditations little by little, step by step. Okay, so do some meditations for at least 5 minutes a day, and when you do these things, your mind will start to stay away from these 5 hindrances. So when your mind starts to stay away from these hindrances, you will feel that you can remember everything that you study. So make your life a peaceful one. Make your mind a peaceful place through the meditation. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. First of all, I need to ask a question from you. Why do bad things happen always to good people? Now, I know this is a question that most of us have asked from ourselves in our life. So when the miserable things happen to our life, when unexpected things happen to our life, normally we ask from ourselves, why always me? Why these things happen only to myself? What is the wrong with me? So, our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, taught a wonderful fact about the life. Supreme Buddha taught us, Sabbe Dhamma Anattati. That means, everything is not yourselves. It is not under your control. So, life also not under your control. Remember that. We are living a life. This is not a fantasy. This is not a movie. This is not a dream. This is a real life. The nature of the real life is, it is unpredictable. We don't know what will happen in the next time. Can you guess what will happen in the next time? In the next moment? In the next second? No, no one knows that. Right? And also, our life is uncertain. We don't know in the next moment we will lose our life. Right? So there's a big mystery about the future. Right? So, when the miserable things happen to our life, when unexpected things happen to our life, remember, the nature of our mind is to always regret about that. Right? We have a great sensitivity. We have a big sensitivity to the negative side of our life. Right? There are so many problems that we face in our life when we are living this life. So when we face those problems, when we are going through tough times, when the misery and the unfortune hits our life, we may start to regret about those past miserable memories. Right? So what we have to do to get rid of this negativity, is always we need to look for the bright side of our life. There are so many things that we can be happy by thinking about our life. But keeping away all those good things, we always focus on the negative side. That is why most of the people in this outer world, in this society, they are regretting about the small things that happened in our life, in their life. But they have thousands and thousands of things that they can be happy by thinking about. Right? So what we have to do to escape from this negativity is to always focus on the good things about your life as well as the good things about the others' lives. And that is how we practice to bring our thought process from negativity to positivity. And remember, life is unfair, right? We think that we are good people and we expect that good things will happen always to us. But remember, karma and life does not care about you. It doesn't care how good you are or how bad you are and how successful you are, what social status you are in. It doesn't care. It has its own ways. Karma has its own ways. So, there will be tough times. And also there will be easy times and happy times. Life is like a book, remember. When we are reading a book, we go through sad chapters. We go through happy chapters. We go through adventurous chapters. But if someone met a sad chapter and if he stopped reading that book, if he stopped reading that book and keep it away because it was a sad chapter, you cannot enjoy the whole essence of the book. Life is also like that. When we are living our life, there will be happy chapters, there will be sad chapters of our life, and also there will be adventurous chapters. But if we stop in the sad chapters of our life, what will happen? We will never make our life successful. Remember that. That is why they say if you focus on the pain, you will start to suffer. But if you focus on the lesson, you will start to grow. So when the life teaches you hard lessons, tough lessons, right? When you are going through the tough times, problems, maybe they are physical problems, mental problems, social problems, relationship problems, whatever problem it is, you should not make that problem a destination, right? You have to go through them. And that is why they say you will grow through what you go through. So what you have to think is, you need to think this life is unfair. And that is why Supreme Buddha said, Sabbang paravasang dukkhang. Everything that is under others' control is a suffering. We cannot expect everything will be happen according to our wishes, because some things in lives are under others' control. And also Supreme Buddha said, Sadharanang vihanyanti. That is a great saying of Supreme Buddha. If you expect the fairness from this unfair life, you will end up as an exhausted person. You will end up as a tired and fatigued person, because life is unfair, and the problem is that we are expecting the fairness from our life. Therefore, do not expect always the fairness in your life. bad things may always happen to good people. And also, good things also are happening to the good people. So when the bad things happen to you, what you have to do is bring your focus from negativity to the positivity. Bring your focus from the dark side of your life to the bright side. See, there are so many things that you can be happy by thinking about yourself. I don't know what they are, but there are many things. Everyone has bright side of their life. What we need to do to be happy with ourselves, to make our life a successful one, is to focus on that positivity. The more you focus on the positivity, the more you will become happier, and the more you will be able to make your life and remake your problems and faults in your life and live a happy life forever. So bring your focus from the negativity to the positivity, and do not expect the fairness from this unfair life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome and welcome back to another video. Today, I want to talk about something really important for all of our lives, especially in these days, and that is the things that we should not speak with others, according to Buddha's teachings. Now, at first, you might be thinking, well, I'm not a Buddhist, so why should I care about these things? Here's the thing. These principles can be applied to anyone's life, regardless of their religion or belief system. So that is why these speeches are called 4 unwholesome speeches. That is what Buddha said about these speeches. 4 unwholesome speeches. So without any further ado, let's dive in. First of all, we have lying. Now Buddha said, stay away from lying. Now I know we all have said white lies here and there in all of our lives, right? But whether it is a white lie, whether it is a black lie, gray lie, or a red lie, no matter what the lie is, lying itself can be so harmful for all of our lives. Why is that? When you lie, it destroys your trust. When you lie, it destroys your character, right? So that is why it is very important to have trust between people. In our daily relationships between people, the most important component of a happy relationship is the trust. So that is why Buddha said, live a truthful life. And it is very important to have that transparency and honesty in our relationships. So the first thing that we have to stay away from is lying. And next we have divisive speech. What do you mean by divisive speech? Divisive speech is all about creating drama between people or creating conflicts between people using your words, right? It can be gossiping or it can be talking behind someone's back, right? I must say that when you talk these words or when you use this divisive speech, it is not a good thing for your life. And also it is not a good thing for other people's relationships. So Buddha said, do not use this divisive speech. Do not break the relationships between people using your words. Most of the time, we use the divisive speech out of jealousy or out of anger. So that is why it's very important to stay away from divisive speech. And the third one is, Buddha said, stay away from harsh speech. Now, when someone is calling you or when someone is treating you with rude words, how do you feel? Now, we all have been in this receiving end of such speeches, no? How did you feel? We felt sad, we felt depressed, we felt down about ourselves. So that is why Buddha said, do not use your words to put someone down, right? Do not use your words out of anger. This is all about criticizing and name calling and putting someone else down with your words, right? So Buddha said, stay away from harsh speech. And finally, Buddha said, stay away from idle chatter. What do you mean by idle chatter? Idle chatter is all about speaking meaningless or useless things, right? Now, that doesn't say that we cannot have a small chat or a fun talk with people. We can do that, but we have to know where our limit is in our speech, right? We have to set the boundaries in our speech, right? We have to know where our speech become unproductive, right? When you use these words, when you use your words in a meaningful way, you can create a positive life, and you can create a positive emotions or positive feelings in others' lives too, right? So these are the 4 unwholesome speeches that we have to stay away from, that our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us according to the Buddha's teachings, right? So why all these things matter? Why these unwholesome speeches matter in our life? Well, Buddha said, the words that we speak can create either positive or negative karma in our life. Do not think lightly about this karma, right? You have to be very careful about the karma. So the intention behind your words really matters in your life. And that is why we have to use our words wisely, because it can make a huge impact in our lives as well as in others' lives too. So words that we speak are like a knife, right? You can use the knife to cut something useful, right? And also you can use the knife to kill someone else. So let's use our words to create a better life for ourselves and for others. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you got some food for thought for your life. So until next time, I wish you all, may all of you be well and happy, and may all of you live in peace forever. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. In today's video, let's talk about how to stay focused during studies. Well, this is a question that most of the students ask from us. Bhante, how can we stay focused in studies? I am easily becoming distracted. My mind is wandering here and there. So how can I concentrate my mind to studies? Well, first of all, let me ask you a question. Do you become distracted when you listen to your favorite song? Are you easily distracted when you watch your favorite movie? Whenever you are doing something that you mostly like, that you have the passion with, do you become distracted? No, you don't. You're well concentrated into that. So what is the first secret behind this focusing power? Passion. Whenever you like something, your mind is focused to that. So the first step of building the focus to anything is to develop the passion or the desire to do that. So that is why they say that do what you love or love what you do. So maybe it is for the studies, maybe it is for meditation. If you have the passion, you will be well concentrated. If you do not have the passion, if you did not like what you're doing, then your mind is going to be distracted. So the first step is creating the passion towards it. So the second step of creating the focus is to be happy with little achievements, like little focusing times. Whenever you study, whenever you meditate, you may have little times of focus. You may be concentrated for 10 seconds, or maybe 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute. what you have to do is you have to be happy with that. The thing that is with us is we are expecting many big things in our life, but we are not happy with little things in our life. So what you have to do, whenever you are focused, maybe for 10 seconds, say, I am happy with that. Admire it, right? Without that, you cannot create the focus. So admire your little achievements. That is the one thing that you have to do. And the next thing is, you have to reduce your distractions. Notice what you become distracted. Maybe social media, maybe your mobile phone, maybe something that you think of, right? So what you have to do, reduce those distractions. Stay away from those distractions, right? If you start to study, if your phone is distracting you, what do you have to do? Keep that away for a little while, right? Whenever you reduce or whenever you stay away from the distractions, your mind become well focused. That is another thing that we can do to create the focus in our mind. And also remember, focusing power is not an act. It is a practice. It is a habit. So what do we have to do? We have to practice this focusing power or this concentration again and again. How to do it? So whenever you are studying, if you notice that your mind is wandering here and there, maybe in several thoughts, right? But when you notice it, when you become aware of it, take back that distracted mind to your focusing point. Maybe to studies, maybe to meditation. Take it back. It may stay in the studies for a little while. Your mind may stay in the studies for a little while. Then it will become distracted again. That is the nature of our mind. So what do you have to do it again? How to take it back and start to study. When it is distracted, take it back to the studies and keep on studying. When you do it over and over again, what happens is it creates this power of habit. Then you can create the focusing power in your studies. So these are the little things that we can practice to create more focus. And also, before studying, before you do anything that needs your focus, just meditate a little while. Maybe just close your eyes and focus on your breathing pattern, your in-breath and out-breath. Right? When you focus your mind to that, we give that message or we give that signal to our mind that now you should be concentrated, you should be focused. So when you practice these things, your mind will little by little get used to be focused. So practice these little practices and make your life a better one. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. This is a special inner guide video that is dedicated to the little daughter who had asked a question from us. She had mentioned in her comment that she has a big problem with laziness, and also her exams are near, so she is in a big stress. And also, she said that she no longer finds a value in her life. I think most of us have these kind of questions. Okay, let's start with the first question. She had said that she has a big problem with laziness and sleepiness. I know that getting up early in the morning and sitting for studying and doing the studies is a little bit of a hard thing to do when you are a student especially. First of all, let me introduce you to the inspiring words of the Supreme Buddha. Supreme Buddha said, Sukharani asadhuni attano ahitani cha. It is very easy to do evil things, the things that brings the unhappiness or the suffering or the regret to our life. Supreme Buddha said, Yangve hitangcha sadhungcha tangve paramadukkaram. If there is something that brings us the happiness to our life, if there is something that makes us proud about ourselves, doing such things is a really, really hard thing. So, getting up early in the morning and sitting for studies is a hard thing to do. Why? Because if you do that, it brings the happiness to your life. Right? Studying, educating yourself brings the happiness to your life. So, most of the people, they find hard to get up early in the morning. Now, we all like that fluffy and comfy and warm feeling that we feel on the bed in the morning. So when you open your eyes in the morning, your mind says, just stay another 5 minutes. And that's the point that you are making the mistake. Your mind, you listen to your mind, you listen to what your mind says. When your mind says, just stay another 5 minutes more, it's okay, it's not a problem. That is where you make the mistake. And that 5 minutes will last long for another hour. And when you get up after an hour, you start, your mind, the same mind that told you to stay on the bed for 5 minutes will complain you are not studying. It will say that you are going to fail the exams. That is how our mind lies us. That is how our mind tricks us. So when you get up in the morning, when you open your eyes in the morning, right? When your mind says to stay on the bed for another 5 more minutes, do not listen to that. Do not listen to that lie. Get up and refresh yourself and start studying early in the morning. There's a great quote that I remember all times when, even in my life, when I'm going through hard times, I remember this quote. It says, it is a wonderful quote. It says, if you do what is easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. Let me repeat that again. If you do what is easy today, your life will be hard tomorrow. But if you do what is hard today, your life will be easy tomorrow. So getting up early in the morning is a hard thing. But if you do that hard thing, remember, your life will be easy. But if you stay on the bed for another 5 minutes, doing what is easy, your life will be hard tomorrow. So get up early in the morning. Do you know how long you're going to feel the hardship of getting up early in the morning? Do you know for how many days that you are going to find very hard to get up in the morning? Only for 3 weeks. If you get up early in the morning and start studying in the morning for 3 weeks, remember, only for 3 weeks, it will make a habit to your life. And after that 3 weeks, you will never find it hard. It will become a habit. You don't want to think about it again and again. It will become a day-to-day practice. So do that, although you feel hard, for 3 weeks and see the result. That is the answer for first question. And let's go for the second question. She had mentioned that her exams are near, so she's stressed and she's unfocused. Her mind is clumsy. So what is the answer for this? Remember, now when the exams are near, it is the normal nature that we feel frustrated, distracted, unfocused, and clumsy. That is the normal nature, right? So I need you to do one thing. This is a special thing to do when the exams are near, right? Focus on one thing at a time to study, right? Focus on a single thing at a time to study. Study for 20 minutes, right? When you're studying, just forget all the other things that you have to study. Now, normally when we start to study, we find that there are so many things that we have to study in a short time. Now, the more you remember these things, the more your mind will regret. The more your mind will start to become clumsy. So I need you to do this thing. When you're studying, just forget about all the other things that you have to study. Just think, now I have to study only this thing. There's nothing that I have to study more. Just focus on that and study for maybe 20 minutes and take a break for 5 minutes. This is called the Pomodoro technique. I think it is well known. So study for 20 minutes, well focused, and give yourself a little bit of a break for 5 minutes and start studying again. And focus on the special points in your studies. Right? And now, when the exams are near, if you haven't studied, right? So I know you're regretting in your mind. So, if you didn't make through the exam, I'm using the word if, right? If you did not make through your exams, I need you to do this thing. What is that? Never, ever give up studying. At some point in our life, we will lose our balance and we will fall down. We will go through hard situations, right? We will fall down in our life, but get back up and try again. You will fall for the first time. You will fall for the second time. You will fall for the fourth time, fifth time. Though you fall for the 1,000,000th time, what you have to do is get back up and try again. As humans, we should never give up in our studies and in our success. So, if you did not make through the exams, do not quit your studies. Do not quit your education. Right? Get back up and try again, and one day, you will find that you have been success. And let's go for the third question. She said that she no longer finds a value in her life. Remember, as humans, we are born to this world to add a value to our life. When we come to this world, we brought nothing. We had nothing. We knew nothing. But as humans, we have to add a value to this life. Right? Study well, start loving others, start loving your parents. And if you cannot study for yourself, right? If you cannot work for yourself, work for the people who loves you. There are so many people around you who loves you, who have dedicated their life on behalf of yourself. Right? They are your parents. Try to bring a smile to your parents' face saying, "Mom, Dad, I made it." One day you should do this. So if you did not give up, you will be success one day. But if you quit, if you give up your education, if you give up in your goals, it is very sure you will fail. Therefore, never give up. Work for yourself as well as work for the people who love you most. Right? Bring a smile to their face. Right? The only thing that you have to do in your position as a child, as a student, is to study only. You don't want to earn money. You don't want to look after the babies. There's nothing to do. Only thing that you have to do is to study. Do that, but never give up. That is what I have to share in this special video. So I wish that daughter and all of you have the same questions in your life. May you be well and happy. May you live long. May you live a happy life. And may all of your dreams come true. And may all of you realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to yet another episode in Inner Guide Q&A program, where we find the answers for our life problems through the great teachings of our great teacher, Supreme Buddha. Now, one of our viewers have asked a question from us, that what is true love according to the Buddhism? Well, when we talk about the topic love, remember, as humans, as beings in this world, we all seek love and affection in our life, right? All living beings needs love to live. So when you talk about the topic love, it is a vast and a broad topic, right? Love can be found in many ways. But the basic and the base for all these kinds of love is the kindness and the compassion. But most oftenly, people may misunderstand the love and the attachment. Right? When we come to the topic of love between the partners, the male and females, boys and girls, many of the boys and girls, they doesn't know what is true love and what is attachment. Now there is a distinct difference between true love and attachment. So what is that difference? Well, when someone loves another person, he will say, I need you to be happy by being with me, right? In the other hand, if someone being attached to some person, he will always say that why are you not making me happy? Right? So there is a big difference between these two expressions. When someone loves another person, he will say, I need you to be happy by being with me. That means you are trying to give something to someone, right? You always try to give the happiness to a person. But if you are being attached to someone, right? If you are developing lustful ideas towards someone, your mind will say, why are you not making me happy? You need to make me happy. So that is based on the selfishness, right? The true love is based on unselfishness, right? In the true love, there are many things, many good assets. There are the love, kindness, compassion, patience. These are the basic qualities that leads to the true love, right? If you are loving someone, you need to be kind to that person. You need to be compassionate to that person. You need to feel the sadness of those people. Now, when we talk about the topic compassion, compassion means to suffer with other people. That means if you can feel the pain that is hidden inside the people's life, if you can feel and become empathy, you can feel the empathetic feeling about them, then that is called compassion. If you can share the pain that is in another person with you, then that is compassion. So in true love, you need to have that sharing ability. And also, you need to have the kindness. You need to always wish the well-being of that person. Right? You need always to wish the good of that person. That is how you love truly. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha gave a wonderful explanation for the love. Supreme Buddha said, Mata yatan yang puttang ayusa eka putta manurakhe. as a mother who loves her only child, you should spread that same love to every person in this world. So when we talk about mother's love, parents, they does not expect anything from us. Instead, they love us. Now, when we were small, right, we were doing so many terrible things to our parents, right? Have you seen that the babies do so many terrible things to their parents, right? They drag from their hair, they pinch them, they cry, they yell, but yet the parents still love their children. So when someone is truly loving someone, it's like they're holding them firmly and they're nurturing them, right? But if you are attached to a person, you always expect the things from others, right? You always expect the things that fulfill your desires, right? When someone is attached and when someone is being lustful for someone, that means he's always expecting to fulfill every fulfillment and desire from that person. You're not trying to give something, always you are trying to get something from that person, right? It's like you're holding on to something tightly, right? Suppose you are drawing a cow or a bull. You are holding that cow or a bull from a rope. So when that animal tries to escape, what you are doing is you are holding it tightly, right? The more you hold it tightly, you are the one who is getting hurt, right? You are the one who is getting hurt. If you can let go, what will happen? You are not getting hurt anymore. So when you are being attached to a person, you will always get hurt and you will never fulfill your desires, because desires and sensual desires, they never get fulfilled. We cannot make ourselves satisfied from those things. Okay, so that is what you call the attachment. In attachment, you hold on to things tightly. There is a great quote that describes about love. If you like a flower, right? If you like a flower, you will pluck that flower. But if you love a flower, you will water the plant, that flower plant. So if you love someone, what you have to do, you have to say that I need you to be happy with me, right? I always wish the happiness of your life. If that happiness includes me, that is better. But if it is not, in that case also, I need you to be happy. That is how you love truly. And that is the difference between the true love and the attachment, right? In true love, you don't expect anything from the person, but still you try to give the happiness to them. In attachment, you always expect the things from people and still you will never be satisfied from them. So choose to love the people correctly. If you choose to love people correctly, then you will be a peaceful person throughout your life. Namo Buddhaya, Teruvan Saranai.